Nessa Preppy, thank you so much for joining me. It's been, it's been a couple of weeks to set up, but we're finally here, and I'm so glad I got you on. So thanks for joining me.
No problem.
All right.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm cool, man. Like literally this whole year, I've been saying it to artists like numerous amount of times, but the craziness that's been going on with lockdowns. I'm currently in a lockdown two situation. How's everything for you on your side in Trinidad right now?
I mean, everything is pretty much the same everywhere. With COVID, I don't think anywhere of anyone that I know is like different. I think UK, New York, it's all Trinidad, it's all the same.
Yeah. So are there like certain restrictions in where you can go, or like is it kind of like relaxed, or is it quite strict on your end?
It's um it's not, I wouldn't say it's too strict, but it's also not very relaxed. I mean, it have certain things you could do, go to restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think on our side at the moment, like if you go to restaurants, you can only do takeaways. And a lot of non-essential retail stores are closed as well. So it's kind of mad. But like apparently they're meant to be lifted by next week. So I can't wait for some sort of freedom again.
Definitely.
Uh, well, it's a pleasure to have you on. I seen that you've been active in doing music, throughout this entire like year, especially during the lockdown periods, even with the music videos, which we'll get into in a bit. Has it been tricky for you to perform? Because I know that a lot of venues are shut down, and I know you must have the urge to want to perform.
No, definitely can't do any performing right now.
Mad, mad. Has there been any sort of virtual like sort of stances on performing that you've been able to do, or anything similar to that that you can reach to your audience and all your fans in that way?
I did a couple virtual. I did Nothing Hill Carnival virtual. I
Oh, nice.
did a couple other little things locally here virtual, but I mean, it's definitely not the same experience.
No, it's
So
not, is it?
I kind of two-minded about virtuals. I find, it's kind of depressing and heartbreaking that this is what it's come to.
Mm,
So, as much as, sometimes you do a little one or two of the lives, I'm not a big fan of them because
mm.
I prefer to perform in real life.
I know a lot of artists that I've been speaking with, they feel exactly the same way, like in terms of like, having a crowd out there and, people being fan to fan interactions and just human interactions in general. So I know that it's been hard to adjust and to adapt, but it's something that we've had to all do, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. And I know that you've been doing a lot of music videos during the pandemic. Like, when it comes to like, getting all those things set up, is it easy to arrange, like, getting makeup artists, getting video directors, and all that sort of stuff, like all the props, all the extras? Is it easy to get all that set up on your side?
Sometimes yes.
Mm,
Sometimes yes, because Trinidad is so small. It's everybody really knows everybody, and once the person is here, I mean, once we're doing it within our realm of safety and we're taking the proper precautions,
mm,
I think it's easy to get people like photographers, videographers, makeup. For me
mm,
personally,
mm,
it's hectic some days because it's not as it was before, where it's free flowing. People's schedules are different now, and
mm,
so is definitely not easy in that aspect,
mm.
but it's not like it's not really difficult
But
to
you're
get
you're
like
you're
people
definitely
to.
making it work for yourself, because we're gonna get into some of the music videos in a bit, because you're just slaying like no man's business regardless of how this year has come, and you're just not letting it affect you. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I am so glad to be a man and to be able to see you slay and sass, girl.
Thank you.
Well, an interesting fact is that you are the second person on the channel that is originally born in Germany. The last person that we spoke with was Slim 400, and he was born in Germany, and he moved over, I think it was like a couple of months later, to Compton, and that's where he's lived all of his life from then. And even an interesting fact, like Martin Lawrence was born in Germany.
Really?
Yes, he was. Yeah, no, even when you go on Will Smith's YouTube channel, and I think where they were doing like the Bad Boys 3 promo, like Martin Lawrence even stated that his dad was, I think, was part of a base in Germany. So it's crazy, man.
Wow.
This is a crazy one. I mean, in your case, like you know, you're born in Germany, but you moved over to Trinidad when you was 5, right?
Yeah.
Did you
When I
have?
was 4 years old, I was like four, turning five, like,
Okay,
almost five.
so
Um, yeah,
now, sorry, go on.
it's fine. I forget.
Uh, nah, sorry, it's just a bit of a time delay. So when you know, did you recall anything being in Germany before you moved over to Trinidad, or was it quite vague? Like, you know, do you remember more of being in Trinidad than being in Germany?
Um, well, I think those years, those first years of your life, you can't really remember much, like, or know much
Mm.
particularly. You can just only remember what your parents tell you. The only thing I definitely remember is it. I remember the weather being colder for sure. I definitely remember that. Um, so yeah, it was it was. I spent my entire life in Trinidad, so
Mm.
I don't really have much like real memories there. I mean, I've went there for vacations, growing up and stuff, but like growing up, like living there, I don't really have any. I don't even know what it's like to like live in Germany. I've just been there like for short spaces of time.
Because you must feel
And
like a
well,
tourist, like going over to Germany then, because obviously you spent your whole life in Trinidad, you've associated with the culture, you've blended with the culture, being on the
well, it
mum
well it
side.
well it is my culture as well because my
Mm,
mom is Trini, so it's my culture as well.
mm,
And I think this is my culture. I don't really identify with anything where I'm from in Germany because it's very different to how it
mm.
is here for me in Trinidad. So when I visit there, I'm definitely a tourist. I can speak a little German, not much. So
Okay.
I just try to I just try to enjoy it as much as possible, even though it's a big contrast.
Oh,
Definitely a big contrast.
okay. So has your dad, like, over the years, like, you know, brought you in as far as, like, you know, understanding more of your German heritage, obviously because your dad is German, so has he brought you in into understanding more of that culture so you feel more as, I mean, I obviously with the Trini side you know most, but has there been parts of your German culture that you've really like learned through your dad?
Well, definitely because we things like culture and things like certain things, like with cooking, as simple as it is, just him teaching me how to cook certain things, German things, know about German cuisine and food, um, beer, different things.
Yeah.
So just little things like that, I think, is what the where the culture would have definitely been passed on.
Mm.
The language as well, even just visiting and all, that in itself is just that is a taste of the culture, and where my dad is from in Germany, they grew up on a farm, so my grandmother had a farm. So
Mm.
when I know about that whole experience, I know about the whole, like, there's like the other side of it where, it's football and different things. I learn about a lot. So
Mm.
yeah, the culture is definitely passed on through my dad. But I would say though, my father is 100% Trini himself because he lived here for so many years. He could cook Trini food. He speaks, like a Trini.
Wow.
Um, he is so embedded in this culture here, even though now he's back in Germany because he has some business there, so he's back there now. But his whole life, he's like Trini,
Yeah, I
you
was
know.
literally going to ask you, like whether he's fully ingrained himself with the Trini culture, knowing that when you moved over at the age of 5, that you've been there all your life, and so I was going to ask if literally he's been so embedded, and it looks like he has, like, from the culture, the food, the everything about it. So it's interesting to know that your dad is fully ingrained with the culture.
Yes, definitely. It usually when when people meet him, they usually are in for a surprise because if he cooks something or if he makes something, they'll be like, "Your dad made this," because obviously
Yeah.
he's white,
Yeah.
so they'll be like,
Listen,
"Your dad made this."
listen. I know my best friend. He's white British, but his parents are Jamaican. Yeah, Westmoreland, and literally when I met his nan for the first time, full patois speaking, I was shocked beyond belief. I didn't even know that that sort of thing could even exist. Like I couldn't fathom the idea that someone who was white could really be ingrained with the Caribbean culture. And the more I've learned going across this, that the more that there's, my mind's expanded in learning there's so many different cultures you can be in.
Yeah, my mom. I think when my dad met my mom and came to Trinidad, I think he just fell in love with her and the culture and everything, and he just like wanted to live here. He wanted to be here. He loved the fact that Trinis love to lime and have a good time, and
Mm.
yeah, he was just all in.
He's all in, man. Like, your family, the whole culture of yourself, that you're all in, man. I mean, if I were to come to Trinidad, because I've only been to a few places in my life. I've been to Toronto, I've been to Spain, but obviously, with COVID at the moment, it's quite difficult. But if I were to come over to Trinidad, because I want to do more exploring, like, pick me as a basic tourist, what should I be doing to have a monumental experience?
Well, definitely you go to Maracas Beach and have Bacon Shack.
Mm,
Definitely visit the capital city of Port of Spain and see the buildings and the infrastructure, learn about the history of the place. I'd say go to Tobago if you want to enjoy some really picturesque tropical vibes. Tobago is really full of culture as well if you want to look at that aspect. But Tobago is where the extremely beautiful part of Trinidad and Tobago is Tobago. So everything there is picturesque. I mean, even in Trinidad, you have nice beaches like Maracas Beach, Las Cuevas Beach. Those
mm,
are nice beaches, but I'll definitely say hit the beach, hit Tobago, um, hit the avenue
mm.
if the place open. If the COVID lightens up by then, you could definitely hit our Pizza Avenue and so many bars and different things going on there. It has a nice night scene there.
Mm,
So yeah, it's like a lot go to South,
mm.
Trinidad. Yeah, Trinidad has some things to do.
I mean, you sold me on the beaches. You sold me on the nightlife, because I'm definitely. I mean, to be honest, like the nightlife, I've kind of slowed down a bit. But like if there's like a nice party that's going on, like I've been to like parties that gone on till like 10 o'clock in the morning, and they're still going on, and like no one's gone to bed yet. So it's been a long time since I've had that long night of going out and going crazy with it. So, what I mean, I hope I can do that again, man. So as far as music, let's get into the music side of you. So, what got you intrigued into making music? Because from what I understand, that your family wasn't really a musical family. So what got you intrigued into, getting into music, and what sort of music were you listening to in the household?
Definitely a lot of reggae, a lot of Whitney Houston, um,
Ooh.
Anita Baker, Lauren Hill. My mom used to listen to a lot of different songs, even my dad. So just a mixture of songs. And me personally, I always had an interest in music. So definitely when I decided to take this journey, I was really young. I was like 7, 8, and
Mm.
I decided to partake in the calypso in primary school and always showed interest in the arts and things like that. And I think as I just got older, the love probably grew.
Mm. So So you've been doing. So you've had that interest like since you were young, and what got you to the point that you wanted to take music as an artist seriously?
I mean, I don't think anything really. I think everything was just a journey.
Mm,
It's just something that I love. It's like my passion. So
mm,
I don't think there was ever a time that I was not doing it. No, I think it just got better with time. As time progressed, you're just on your journey
mm.
doing what you think you need to be doing, and yeah, it has led me this far.
Yeah, and of course, like your parents like fully supporting you. Like when you had that conversation saying that you want to pursue music, like were they like supportive for the jump, or were they quite reserved at first? Like tell us about that.
Well, my parents was always supportive. My brothers always support me. Cousins, my family around has always supported me. I never felt a time when it was a no or it was a negative thing. It was always a support.
Oh, I love that. So it's literally like all round positivity that you got into your journey, that you're still continuing your journey, and they just, I love that, man. Just positivity all round, man. I love it. So 2012 was when you found your voice and you had your first single, "Turn Up the Sound." And it's clear to see, like throughout the years, when you've been making more music videos, that you've grown more confidence and even some like are more risque and very sexy as well, like with Tingo and Splash. Like I was like, yo, like you're doing your thing, girl. I'm like, I'm just glad to be a man, and I'm seeing this, and obviously your ability in terms of like singing and just all round like artist. What got you to the point of like when you started with Turn Up the Sound, that you how were you able to build up your confidence to do more than type of videos?
Um, I I'm sorry if my answers may sound like this, but I never felt like it had like a moment. Like
Mm,
I was always I always like dressing a certain way. I always like um being an authentic version of myself.
mm,
I like certain clothes. I like certain vibes, and I think that was always just me. So as I say, it's just putting it in to the music now. Um, so it's just kind of me being an artist.
yeah.
There's never like it never had like a point. Like I always just live my life, and then I do music.
Mm.
So of course, those two worlds will collide, and you will get what is Nessa Preppy in a sense.
So for you, it's like you're being unapologetically you from the jump. It's like this is me, this is how I'm presenting myself, and I'm just, what I mean, whatever I feel at the time, this is how I'm gonna express myself.
Yeah, just me doing me singing my songs, and bringing out the energy that you see in the videos, and the energy that you see in the pictures, and that you hear in the music is all just Nessa Preppy doing
Mm.
Nessa Preppy.
I love that because literally the energy is obvious, like from the social medias to the music videos, that this is you, and I mean, like this is the representation of what you is. And going on Tingo as well. Like when I saw Tingo, like firstly, it made me miss Carnival so much because I've been to Notting Hill Carnival last year, and I really enjoyed myself in terms of like the whole vibe, and obviously with COVID being around, like Carnival I haven't been able to go to, so I miss doing that, and it makes me miss going out at times when I've seen your video, and I wanted to get some advice from you actually because I've spoken to a few dancehall artists about this, and I mean in terms of like securing the wine, for me it's far few between. So I mean last year I got one wine and I was in just enjoying myself for the rest of the day. If you were to advise me in how to secure the wine, like what would be the signals, what would I need to do to make sure that the girl is comfortable, I'm comfortable, like we can vibe and I can get more wines in the day.
Um, boy, I don't know now. I don't know. I think like things like that is like an energy thing. So
Mm,
obviously, you're not. if you see a girl whining, you're not gonna just run up on her, because
I'm not
sometimes
like
as
that. Yeah,
women,
I'm not like that. I'd
you
rather
have
like
it,
slowly approach.
you enjoying your wine, and you don't want to be interrupted by anyone.
Yes.
So I think guys that do that, that's definitely a no-no. So I would say, just be cool, and look for the right moment and go through, I
Yeah. Okay.
guess.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if what signals would you pick up if a guy were to come to you to for the wine? What are like the do's and don'ts? So like someone come to you now, like I want to get the wine from you. What would you say is yes, and what would you say is no? That you know that you're gonna just go for the wine.
Um,
Is it eye
well, like I
contact?
said,
Is it like communication? Like
no, I think with whining, when I think a girl will want to whine on you if she wants to whine on you.
you just kind
You
of
know,
know.
you just kind of know. If it's a girl that you already know,
Mm.
and you all have that kind of vibe or friendship, I don't think it is a thing where you would have to ask or you would have to think. I think if you're all cool like that, she wouldn't have a problem. You wouldn't have a problem. So I think it's just like, yeah, like different things like that. Sometimes you're just in a moment, you're having a good time, you don't necessarily want to whine on somebody, but they come to whine on you. And if you know them, or if they look like somebody that, yeah, all right, I could whine on this guy, you whine on them. I don't think it had any rule status or like all about party vibe, because that's
Yeah.
usually when people whine in a party. So it's like, if you're having a good time, if once the person, approach the right way, you could get a wine like that.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like sometimes I've overthought the situation, so it's like I've analyzed it like too intensely. So, what I've learned during the course of time is just let yourself go. Like, don't think too much about it because it's not an emotional thing. It's just literally you're partying, you're having fun. You know what I mean? Do your wine and then just carry on your business.
Yeah.
Straight up. Um, Now I know that you like to celebrate females. It's clear. Like even like from Issa Snack. When I saw your video on that, there's a whole mixture of like beautiful women in the video. Was it a conscious decision that you wanted to bring the presentation to the track being sexy, like with the twerking and the dancing and the whining, like something for our audience, for the audience to be in tuned in, or was it something for you where like because you're in tuned with the culture of being Trini, that it's just something natural for you?
I think it was a natural thing, because you're singing about girls looking like snacks. You're singing about whining, and you know it have so much elements in the song, like the countdown, 4, 3, 2, things like that. So I think
Yeah.
we had to interpret that in some aspect of it,
Mm.
because it's carnival culture, and
Yeah.
carnival culture and whining and all these things go hand in hand. So I think that was like, it went without saying. Like, I think people was expecting that in the
Yeah.
video.
Because even from the title, like is a snack. Like I kind of instantly thought that there was going to be a lot of culture, a lot of twerking, a lot of dancing to be involved, and so I thought it was quite obvious but effective as well. And like all of you beautiful ladies in the video, I'm thinking like, yeah, I better calm myself down here, the ones, you know. And ironically, there was a tune called "Snack" from Miss Banks. Have you heard of Miss Banks?
No.
Oh, okay. So we have a female British artist called Miss Banks, and she's doing her thing at the moment. She's been touring with Nicki Minaj. She's been on her grind for the past 6 years, and ironically, she also has a tune called Snack, and this is around about roughly the same time, well, similar times to when you put out Issa Snack. I was just trying to figure out if you knew who Miss Banks was, or whether it's just coincidence that she's got her version of Snack as a video, and you got Is a Snack on your end.
Definitely a coincidence, because I never heard of her.
Okay.
Um, the thing is, you the talk is a snack. That was
Mm.
like a talk on IG. Like when you
Mm.
post a pic of yourself, you put is a snack.
Mm.
So I just went with that being the topic at the point in time. Girls posting pics saying it's a snack,
Mm.
meaning themselves.
Mm,
So I just knew it as a social media phrase. Like,
mm.
so I just thought it would have been good for the soca vibe and what Carnival represents. And, just it was a popular talk at the time. So when something
Definitely
is
is.
like a popular talk, is a snack. I just played on that, and that's how the song came about.
Now, with the social media aspect of snack. Now, when I first heard of snack, I was thinking, what are you talking about? Snack as in getting something from the cupboard and eating it, and not realizing when I really got involved and started seeing more, I thought, okay, now I understand that there's a new concept of the term snack. So I was like, okay, it's something of a new thing. Have you heard of any of our UK artists on our side? Is there any UK artists that you've heard of or on our end?
Um, Definitely heard of one or two, like Burna Boy, Stormzy, Skepta.
Mm-hmm.
There's also this guy called Dave. Is Dave?
Yes, Dave. Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I know I really like that the grime song, then the drill music. I like that stuff. I like it.
Okay. What got you interested in drill? Like, was there someone that introduced you to it?
Well, watching Top Boy, I think would probably
There you go. There's
be
always a
what
reference.
if mm,
There's always a reference when it comes to top. Sorry, you were saying about like you were watching Top Boy and that's what got you into it.
yeah, the culture, the London culture, and that there is, this culture that has Caribbean elements to it, and things like that. I didn't even know that was something real. So when I saw the show Top Boy, I really got an insight on the culture and how it is out there in parts of London, and how they speak. All of that is really cool. I think it's something that definitely made me see a different side of London and see a different side of like the UK artists and things like that.
Well, there's definitely a lot of artists that for you to be in tune with. Like we're killing it with our female artists over here. Like Miss Banks being one of them. So, what I mean, like we're killing it with our female talent. So it's something for you to check for because we've just got talent upon talent in the UK, man. Um, Now you've done a remix with Michael Montano and Hood Celebrity, who I got a chance to interview.
Marshall Montano.
Yeah. Oh, Marshall Montano. Sorry, my apologies. So Marshall Montano and Hood Celebrity, who I had a chance to interview last year. Like how did the collaboration come to life? How did you get to work with those guys?
Um, I think these things just happen so crazy and so funny. Is like um, I always knew Marshall, always knew him from the industry. He knows me. Um, Always wanted to work with him, of course. Him being the king of soca music, and the song Issa Snack was doing so well at the point in time. I wasn't even expecting it to reach to that level
Yeah,
with Hood
it done so
Celebrity
well.
and Marshall. I didn't foresee any of it. So during the season of Carnival, while working and stuff, I got the phone call from his people, and they were interested in doing the remix, and they wanted to bring on a female artist. And Hood, some of my people had already reached out to Hood prior to that for a remix. And when Marshall came on board, I said, you know what? This is like the universe giving me a sign here. I think we should
Yeah.
do this with Marshall and Hood Celebrity. And then Marshall's people reach out to Hood. So, she kind of heard it from both sides, and it came together.
Well, it just seems destiny, right? Like what I'm gathering from your energy that you're bringing is that a lot of things just seem to naturally build, naturally develop, and nothing's forced on it. It's just literally like all like whether it be collaborations or the type of tunes that you make are all like naturally built. They're not forced, right?
Never.
Never that. Speaking of collaborations, like who would be your absolute dream collaboration? If there was one right now that you want to pick out, like who would be the one for you?
The Weeknd.
Ooh, Okay, interesting. Why the weekend?
because I really like the way his music, the vibe of it. There's a really nice vibe to his vocals and the beats, the choice of the beats he uses, and I just think he's an all around really good artist, performance wise, the whole 9 yards. So
Yeah.
definitely my dream collab.
And the best thing about the weekend as well, well, not necessarily the best thing, but like, he's kind of like a mystery where like, it's all about the music because you don't see him in a lot of interviews so much. So literally it's all about the music so you can consume it without focusing too much on the person like themselves,
Yeah,
you know. And obviously your latest single Doh Wah Love which came out last month.
yeah.
So, I mean, how has it been received? Because, it's doing well at the moment. And obviously for your album that was meant to have been back in September.
Mm.
So, I mean, firstly, like, how has Doh Wah Love been received from your fans so far?
So Our Love has been received really well. It's a catchy song. I loved working on it. It was produced by Abe Dat Fuego. Crystal wrote it. I think it's really a song that the women of this generation could really vibe to and really enjoy. So anything that I think kind of empowers women and give us a good sense of confidence. I like doing that kind of music. So it wasn't like when they brought this song to me, it was like a no-brainer. I had to do it. Definitely had to do it. And it has been received really well. It's doing really well on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when the video drops soon, everybody gonna love it even more.
Oof, I can't wait. I can't wait. I mean, with all the videos that you've been doing, and the more confidence that I'm seeing from you, it's like I have no doubt with Doh Wah Love, like this video. Like I'm excited for the prospect of it, man, because you've already brought that
And it's
confidence
and
in.
it's and it's on the upcoming album, The Art of Flex.
Art to flex, love that. So, I mean, when it comes to the art of flex, when are we waiting a little bit longer? Like, have you got a time frame in mind? Or are you just kind of working on little bits at the moment?
Well, it's definitely 95% to completion. It's going to be available for pre-order this December,
Oh,
and it's going
nice.
to be available January.
Oh, okay. Because my birthday's Christmas Day, so I'll
Oh, really?
yeah. So that would be a good Christmas present to look into. Um, so I just wanted to touch on a few things really. Obviously, beautiful accent of being from Trinidad, you Trini. I mean, I've been surrounded by a lot of Caribbeans for most of my life, like Bajans, Jamaicans, Trinis, Scottish people, Canadians. What accent outside of your own do you find the most attractive?
Jamaican.
Yeah, yeah. Is it because is it mainly for familiarity? Because what I mean, because obviously the islands are close by together. Like, is that mainly like what attracts you the most?
I don't know what attracts me. I just like it. It's just an accent that it's likable.
Yeah.
It really, you know, Jamaicans have a very confident way in which they speak, and I think that in itself is something that anyone would like.
I mean, for me, like, before we get into the last bit, like, I'm actually doing a podcast outside of this, and my dad was never in the picture, so I know I'm from the Caribbean. I just don't know what part he's from. So this is always a learning curve for me, especially when I talk to artists like yourselves, and it gives me a context of, I mean, what people are like in different islands. So, I mean, I appreciate you giving me some knowledge on that as well, because now I'm excited to come to Trinidad whenever the time comes that I can come over.
Yeah.
Can't wait, man. So before I let you go, I do this with every single artist, and I am a bit of a Twitter stalker. So basically, like, I know that you've been tweeting. You tweet quite a lot, actually, and there's some interesting tweets, like fun, light-hearted tweets. So I just wanted to get into them, bring some elaboration to it, and just let the audience know, just for a bit of fun. Is that cool with you?
Sure.
All right, cool. So the first one is I'm a Cancer, but I love Leos and Capricorns.
Oh, well, I'm a Cancer, and my best friend is a Leo, and my boyfriend is a Capricorn.
Ah, okay, interesting. Okay, I can see where you brought that in context. Well, I mean, I'm a Capricorn as well.
Oh,
Okay, so I know that obviously I have a best friend who's also a Cancer, so you know what I mean we gel like no man's business really, and it's like a really nice like connection, you know. Um, Next one is nothing sweeter than a brand new white Air Force One.
yeah, nothing sweeter than a brand new white Air Force One. I think that day I was probably wearing a brand new white Air Force One and look down at my feet and say, yeah.
Yeah, is that your favorite? Is that your favorite trainers? Like, have you been buying a lot of trainers like throughout your life?
Yeah, definitely a sneakerhead. I have different types. I used to love Jordans, but
Okay.
as I got old, I kind of like to switch it up a bit. So yeah, definitely like buying trainers, as you say.
Yeah, because I mean, America they say sneakers, and I'm thinking like, where are you sneaking to? That makes no sense to me, you know. So, don't sneak off. You got trainers. That's. I mean, I'm glad like Caribbean say trainers as well, so I like that. Next one is I miss being sleepy in my hotel room and getting up to go perform or to catch a flight. Now I'm all well rested and shit. So I mean, obviously that's to do with these times at the moment, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Next one, I want a samurai sword.
I want a samurai sword.
Why would you want a samurai sword? Curious. Is this something for decoration?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely to decorate.
Okay. All right. So, are you thinking to have like a few different like sizes of samurai swords, or just like maybe one?
um, I didn't think about it that in depth. I just wanted one
Okay.
in
Okay.
that moment.
All right. All right. All right. Next one is don't do dumb shit on social media that could affect you in real life.
Well, yeah, don't do dumb shit on social media, because when I say that, a lot of people do dumb shit. Like they go
Mm.
on social media and say something stupid. They there are a lot of people that like to go on social media and say things,
Mm.
and don't think of the repercussions of how it could affect you in real life. Um, so yeah,
Okay, okay, all right. I mean, because obviously, we seem to have this thing where, like, someone does something wrong, or we're always trying to put our opinions in, but most of the time, our opinions don't count anyway. So it's just like, just leave it and let it be. You know. A few more. Be humble and show gratitude. The entitlement shit will get you nowhere.
um, when I tweeting, I really don't be like, it's be like something happening around me that make
Hmm.
me tweet. So
Okay.
probably someone's behaviors or something I saw at the moment would have triggered me to tweet whatever I tweeted.
Okay, okay. Last one, I'll put to you. Copycats are inevitable when you're always making your own waves. So I'm assuming, like, in your case, like this is you being original. Like, just don't copy what everyone else is doing. That just do you.
Yeah, definitely. And I've also been a victim of situations where I've seen people plagiarize certain things that I've done.
Mm,
Or certain times where I've done certain things and wasn't given the credit. So that was just probably like, a reflection of one of those times and a tweet.
okay, okay. So I mean, what it seems like, when you tweet, it's just like a moment in time when you're feeling something, and then you're just putting it out there, like so nothing too extreme in terms of the meaning. It's just something that you're thinking, and just in that frame mind of time.
Yeah.
I hear that. Well, I mean, Nessa. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I
Thank
know
you.
I know you got more famous
Thanks for
shit to.
having me.
No, pleasure's mine. Thank you so much. Well, I know you got more famous shit to do, so I ain't gonna hold you up much longer. If you could tell our audience where they can catch you on all the socials and what's coming up for you, the floor is yours, my darling.
You can find me on Instagram at Nessa Preppy, Facebook Nessa Preppy Music, Twitter, um, and yeah, just now the album coming, The Art of Flex. And you can stream Doh Wah Love on all your streaming platforms right now, Spotify, the whole 9 yards.
Well, keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this girl because she is a prospect going forward, and even check up a lot of her music videos in her catalog because it's amazing. And you know, what I mean, I can't wait for the album to drop. So, you know, what I mean, like, obviously, you said January. That'll be my late Christmas present, you know. So I'm gonna check in that. But Nessa, thank you so much, and stay safe. And you know, I wish you all the best for everything in your career.
All right, you too, and bless up.
All right,
Thanks for having me again.
no problem.
Enjoy your day.